Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Katherine Newburgh, founder of Books of Eden Publishing, and I am ecstatic to be with you all today. This video is specifically for authors who are interested in publishing with Books of Eden. And we do differ from traditional publishing companies, and I'll go over all of that. But the main purpose of this video is to take us through the three-phase process that I call pathway to publication. And every author who comes through Books of Eden to publish with us is going to move through this pathway. So I want to take us through every step of the way, and hopefully give you a lot of information about who we are, what we have to offer. And by the end of it, you'll have a sense of whether or not you really resonate with our mission and vision. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, and what we have in front of us is a PDF. This is on the Books of Eden website. And I'm just going to take us through step by step. So go ahead and settle in. Just absorb the information as it comes through. So first thing we have here is the pathway to publication with Books of Eden Publishing. So welcome. This is our vision statement. Our authors speak the language of the divine in its many forms. They are the authentic seers, mystics, visionaries, oracles, and embodied dreamers of the new earth, the new Eden that is dawning. All right, so already you might be able to feel a quickening or a resonance. So what do we publish? There's kind of four categories here. They are specific, but also broad enough to encompass a number of things. So just kind of listen again for that resonance. So we publish new sacred texts, which I described as manuscripts that convey messages of the deep truth of heart and soul, aligned with the new consciousness that is arising. Practical mysticism, ways of bringing magic, mysticism, and gifts of subtle sentience down to earth so that it can help infuse the daily lives of readers. And so then thanks to Evelyn Underhill, who first published this book called Practical Mysticism, it made a huge impact on me. One of the things I really like about this category is that I know many people with many, many gifts of clairvoyance, clairsentience. What I'm really interested in with Books of Eden is bringing all those gifts down to the human level, the earthly level, our earth walk here, how we are embodied within our mysticism, how it can help guide us. So there is a level of practicality with some of the mysticism that we publish. Spiritual technology, books, recordings, songs, lectures, etc., designed to promote healing and heart, soul, life alignment. So this is where we kind of open the category a little bit. If you are, maybe you're not an author, but you are a visionary of the new earth. Maybe you're a musician, you have lectures, you're a sound healer, you've created a course, right? We are open to other types of media, not just books. So this is where spiritual technology kind of encompasses that. And then the idea of spiritual technology is that it directly impacts healing and ascension. Right. And then stories of the new humanity. So in this place, you may have a personal story of healing. Maybe you don't necessarily identify as a mystic or a seer, but you have a personal story of deep, deep healing, right? That could come in here. And then this is as well a fictionalized stories that convey knowledge of the new earth. So sometimes as we're writing, as we're bringing forth soul memories or kind of these deep records of our being, right? It might emerge as something that seems like fiction, right? So that's why I put fictionalized in quotation marks, because there is a level of deep truth to that, but it may come out as a story or a legend or a myth or an allegory or something like that. So these are our categories of what we publish. So you can take a moment with what your manuscript is and see if it resonates. Okay, so why become a Books of Eden author? We're doing a number of things differently with this company. So the first thing I want to mention is that when you become a Books of Eden author, you are joining a growing community of published visionary authors. So we're not just all operating in isolation. My intention with Books of Eden is that it really does create a community. So perhaps you felt that your message, your stories are too out there for others to understand. You may have felt like a lone wolf, or that the magical insights you know to be true aren't reflected anywhere in the world around you. In the Books of Eden community, you will be surrounded by supportive listeners and others who are playing at your level of visionary genius. So this is somewhere where you belong. So you'll be joining a community when you become a Books of Eden author. All right, you also receive access to all Books of Eden conferences, workshops, summits, gatherings, classes, webinars, right? I want to mention here too, some maybe you have your own kind of healing modality that you like to offer, right? You'll be able to offer that to the community. So as a Books of Eden author, you'll be invited to speak, to present, to give workshops at our summits and gatherings, online, virtual, in person. We want to provide many opportunities for you to offer your visionary gifts to a larger audience. So even if you are not speaking or presenting, right, you will still receive reduced or free admission to all of our events. So you are invited. That's a big invitation. Again, this is more than just kind of authors working in isolation. This is a community. So we are going to be holding these workshops, these summits, these gatherings, these events, right? And my intention is for our Books of Eden authors to be able to have this larger platform to speak their message. And then when you become a Books of Eden author, you are participating in a new business model. So Books of Eden is founded on values of generosity, transparency, empowerment, and synarchy. We believe that everyone who works with Books of Eden is equally essential to the success of the whole. We reflect these values in many ways, including our royalty agreements, which are designed so that authors receive the majority of revenue from their own books. Right? And there's a number of other things we're doing here to contrast with a traditional publishing model. So the intention of our business model is to really create a thriving community. And our intention is also to create an environment where everybody benefits from the success of all. So when you move into this sphere, everybody's success creates visibility, publicity, support, care, guidance, all of that for everyone. As a quick note, for instance, as an author, as a Books of Eden author, your relative worth is not based on how many books you sell. We understand that oftentimes truly visionary works can take some time to catch on, right? So there is no kind of value associated with that. So that's just a quick note here, but we're going to go into that more. Here's kind of a description of our books. This is a more kind of maybe poetic or kind of soul description of the books. And so just feel the resonance of this. Our books are gifts from other realms held for aeons as records in the vast and ancient memory of our being. These books are whole and complete transmissions of light, dwelling within, awaiting the right conditions to blossom forth. In the alchemy of time and evolution, in following back and back, the shining footfalls of your soul's journey, a confluence of unimaginable forces opens, and a portal, gentle and beckoning, is revealed. Your book is the shining gift to come through that portal, received first into your own hands and heart. There is a wisdom only you hold, and it is time now for that wisdom to come forth. These books are already whole and complete, and yet they are shaped now in resonance with your own creative pulse and deep personal wisdom. We work together to bring forward into physical completion the book that already lives and breathes within your being. So this is just a note on my approach as an editor. So as we go through, you'll see that you'll be working one-on-one with me as your editor. And my approach as an editor is to really draw forward the deep wisdom of the book. I believe it's already intact. With my own work, I know that those books already existed whole and complete, and I became the person who could bring them through. And that's what we're doing together. In our collaboration, we are becoming kind of the creative force to bring this book through into the world. So that's a note on the way I approach as an editor. All right, so now I'm going to take us through the 3 phases of the pathway to publication. So we are going to begin with phase 1. And I want to mention that with this specific program, it's assumed that you have already a manuscript, or at least most of a manuscript already created. If you're an author with an idea and you haven't started writing yet, that's fine. You can still reach out, but that's kind of a different program. And then eventually you will get on this path to publication. Let's start with phase one, your shining manuscript. We begin with your draft, the powerful and raw first capturing of your book's wisdom and light. I begin as your editor by reading through your sparkling draft, providing intuitive, reflective, and deeply empowering feedback. I reflect and ask questions, seeking to bring clarity to the overall structure, flow, tone, consistency, and voice of your book. Then, after that first reading, we have kind of a map, kind of a roadmap for completion. And we'll meet one-on-one in a regular rhythm, working together to edit and refine your sacred manuscript so that every word on every page glows with your authentic voice and vision. And everybody's process here is going to be a little different. So we are complete in this phase, and like I said, main content of your book, including preface and introduction, is whole, polished, and finished. Our flow will generally look like this: initial read through on my part with holistic reflection, feedback on structure, pacing, clarity, voice, consistency, flow, that kind of thing. Then we have regular one-on-one editing sessions to highlight different sections, drawing into clarity, all of those things I mentioned: structure, flow, voice, language, tone. We also, in our one-on-one sessions, will move you through any blocks or stuck points that arise. So often people will have different types of rhythms for that. Maybe we meet once a week, maybe we meet twice a month. We decide that flow together, right? And so the way that works is essentially you will send me, and I'm getting a little bit into the weeds here, but sometimes it's helpful to know these. You'll most likely send me a section you want to workshop, or there's a specific question that's coming up where you feel blocked, and we work through that together. So it's kind of whatever's coming up in the moment, right? So this will also include short somatic visualizations as needed to help access new messages of the book and guidance for moving forward. And then when the tapestry of your book is fully woven, we've gone through every section, it feels good, I engage in a final read through for kind of line editing, for smoothing and polishing. So that's phase one. Then we move into phase two. So this is joyful design, is what I called this phase. Now, oftentimes as writers, we finish the content of our book and it feels like it's complete, right? But there's a lot of steps after that. So to prepare a manuscript for publication, there's a number of steps we take past the polishing of the content of the book. So phase two is joyful design. And for our sacred books, the frequency and message shines not just through the words, but through every aspect of its physical presence. This phase tunes into the design and the deep, resonant artistic presence of the book itself. So together we draw forward your book's fullest expression: color, font, artwork, formatting, the way that the words reside or dwell on the page. We dive into all of it. So some practical things that this phase includes is a cover consultation design. So what are the colors that feel present in your book? Is it a photograph? Is it art? Is it abstract? Is it sacred geometry? Right? We really dive into that. The cover is your reader's first impression of the book, and I can't overstate how important it is to have a cover that really reflects the frequency and message of the book itself, right? And so then we also have, for that, optional informal focus groups. So this is kind of where the Books of Eden community comes in. As a Books of Eden author, right, you may be asked to or invited to join a focus group, or you may have other authors when you're ready who step in and offer information on your cover design, how they receive it, what it feels like. There's lots of other ways that you may be involved. Someone may ask you to write the foreword for their book, right, as a Books of Eden author, right? So we're going to go into that. Second thing, formatting and content design. So this is where we look at things like font. Is there artwork within your book? For section breaks, do you have a little design you want to include there, right? We're looking at all of it, very granular level, all of it breathing, exuding the frequency of your message, right? The artistic message of your book. You will also receive an ISBN from Books of Eden Publishing. So that's kind of the code or the stamp for your book that's provided by us when you're accepted as an author. You will receive guidance on the front and back matter. So there's all sorts of little things: acknowledgements, the about the author section, table of contents, description for the back cover, epigraph if you choose to have one, right? We just we walk through all of that. How do we, especially for the description on the back cover, for the formatting of that, like how do we make sure that that the description of your book provides the reader with such a clear resonance of what the rest of the book is going to be about, right? And then I mentioned forward. We talk about that in phase 2, joyful design. This is where we start reaching out to people to write the forward. All of that's part of phase 2. All right. And then phase 3, the launch. This is really fun, this one. So now it's time to really get it ready for publication. So can you feel the quickening? Your book has been brought through from those vast and timeless realms of light. It is fully written. You have woven together color, texture, image, the shining trappings of its earthly form. The book of your heart lives whole and complete in a virtual space. It is ready now to come into the physical world. This phase brings you into the final moments of completion when you hold at last your book in your very hands. In this phase, we move through all of the final stages that lead to publication. Marketing descriptions and materials to share your upcoming creation with others. And just a mention here, I know the word marketing can sometimes feel like, I know I can have an emotional reaction to that word marketing. And so a way I like to think of it is just, how are we sharing this beautiful creation that you've brought through? How do we give readers just a very quick snapshot of what is in store for them when they buy your book? All right, so that's what I mean by marketing descriptions. Just a really clear, a lot of clarity in communication and sharing. You will receive a mock copy for feedback, reflection, and final edits before publication. So I have discovered that I can read through a virtual manuscript a dozen times, and it's not until I have the book in my hands that I catch some things that I want to change. So we will get that. So before we launch the book, you will receive a mock copy, which is just the pre-copy before publication. The book, you'll get to look at it, feel it, hold it, the cover, right? And we'll have a session where we talk about it, what needs to change, what are the final edits we need to have, right? Does it feel like it really embodies the frequency of your message and of your heart's message, right? Then we will publish your book, and we publish your book so it has access across all major book selling platforms internationally. And then you will receive a contract to publish with Books of Eden as well. So all of that together, kind of all in one step. And then lastly, a celebration. We will hold a virtual launch party with all Books of Eden authors and extended community, offering you the opportunity to speak about yourself and your book and to bask in the incredible achievement of birthing your words and vision into the world. You deserve to be celebrated. This is your time. So when we look back, all the way back to the first words you ever put on the page, we come through this pathway, no matter how long it takes, right? It takes different times for each people, but at the end, you have got this celebration, this launch, this book. This book is in the world. You have brought it into the world for others to see, feel, hold, discover. And that is so exciting. So these are the 3 phases. Okay, so what is the investment for all of this? Now, before we get into this, I want to mention that we do have a scholarship model at Books of Eden. So we have, if you go to our website, you'll see that there's a sponsorship page, and all of our sponsors bring in scholarship money for our authors. So if you're looking at these numbers and you're saying, that's not something I can afford right now, but I feel such a deep resonance, don't hesitate to reach out, because there is scholarship money available. So for the initial read through the manuscript, it's $225 an hour. And just to give you a sense of that, about 150 pages, that's going to be about 3 to 5 hours. And with this initial read through, you receive high level and in-depth reflections on the structure, flow, tone, voice, and message of your book, as well as reflection questions, writing prompts, targeted feedback. So again, as an editor, my intention is always to lift up the innate wisdom and form of the book, letting it take its true shape through our work together. So the idea with that initial read through is that it really accelerates our work together. It creates a map, a roadmap. So it's an investment up front that then creates a really clear pathway through that phase 1. All right, so then after the initial read through, we set up a structure for our one-on-one editing sessions. So that'll be a rhythm for meeting an hour-long one-on-one editing sessions. Each session guides you through the sticky points and accelerates your completion of the manuscript into its final form, empowering you with new thoughts, reflections, and ideas on how to move forward. So those are $225 each, or I have packages, so $800 for 4, which is a $100 discount, 8 sessions for $1,600, it's a $200 discount, 12 sessions for $2,300, which is a $400 discount. And again, for the authors who require financial assistance, I do offer scholarships through our sponsorship model. So there is more information on booksofeden.com for that. And then again, a quick note, our royalty model is such that you receive the majority of the profits from your book. Okay, so getting started. If all of this sounds good, are you writing a visionary text? Do you feel a gorgeous resonance with the mission and vision of Books of Eden? Do you long to bring your book into the world in community with other visionary authors? I would love to talk to you. So if that is all resonating, you can reach out to schedule a 30-minute discovery call, and that button is on the website. Actually, I can show us very quickly where. So if we're on the website, down past pricing, right, we have a to get started, and then you can just click here and book a 30-minute discovery call with me. Again, if this is resonating with you, I encourage you to reach out, book that 30-minute discovery call. Let's see what we can create together. I would love to have you as part of the community. Okay, this is Dr. Katherine Newburgh, founder of Books of Eden Publishing, signing off. I hope to hear from you soon, you visionary author.